Hey, you lovelies! How nice to have you here on the little planet. Recurring rains and a pretty cold wind didn't let us be outside that often in the last weeks. Also, our bicycle tours were accordingly always only small rounds, because you never knew when it would start to rain again, and we always had our rain pants with us. But nothing stays. At some point it cleared up, and then the sun kept the upper hand and let nature finally awaken. After the preceding rain, the plants virtually shot out of the ground. And finally all the trees are leafy again. Every day the most different flowers open. We couldn't work in the garden in the last weeks, and so everything around me shows a little wilder than usual. But I must admit that just now everything has its own magic and sometimes almost looks a little enchanted. The birds seem to like it too, because more and more species are settling here with us. New plants find a home in the beds and on the meadow as if by magic. The fruit trees also blossomed, and I was completely enraptured by the cherry blossoms this year. In the past weeks, I was busy with so many things. As most of you know, everything that has to do with creativity is something like an elixir of life for me. And creativity is really a wide, wild field for me. It's a fertile ground, inspiration, field of possibilities, recognition, and of course self-expression, as well as a self-awareness and a space for development. With this, I want to say that being creative doesn't only mean a niche in my life. That I'm not only creative when I paint a picture, play the flute, or am out and about with my camera, for example. Creativity is for me an infinitely large and also multi-layered space in which I can emerge. Sometimes to come into a creative expression myself or to be inspired and fulfilled. Among other things, I'm also in the process of painting a huge birdhouse, a new project that I will probably be busy with for quite a while. Actually, I'm already much too late, but we feed anyway throughout the year with a so-called year-round food, because many birds just in our gardens no longer find enough to be able to feed fully. So, also in this video, as so often, it's about creativity, about inspiration, and about feeling alive. And in addition, I also have for you some, I think, very impressive pictures from a trip into creativity. But let me tell you from the beginning. On Martin's birthday, we packed our camera bags into the car and drove to Dortmund, where a digital exhibition along with a light installation on the works of Gustav Klimt and Friedensreichhundertwasser can be seen in a disused former rolling mill and has the wonderful name Phoenix des Lumières. Another part of the exhibition is a work called Journey, which is an experimental digital journey about the creation of photons, the elementary particles of light. We were full of anticipation, but to be honest, also a bit excited because we couldn't exactly assess whether we would ultimately really enjoy such a performance or whether we might find it a sensory overload. We were lucky because the highway trip was relaxed and without traffic jams, so that we were there early enough before the exhibition started and could still enjoy our picnic in the car in peace. I think it's great that art of all kinds can now be seen in many disused factory buildings in the Ruhr region, and that new life is being breathed into former mining facilities or even this rolling mill built in Dortmund for iron and steel production back in 1843. And then the time had come, we could go in. The exhibition began. It was not easy to film there. Please forgive the one or other flickering in some shots, but I definitely wanted to share with you. And now, let me take you along for a bit and maybe you'll just dive right into the images I captured. See you later. When we came back outside after a good hour, we were absolutely fulfilled, and it was immediately clear to us that we definitely want to see it all again. So, we'll go to Dortmund again sometime. The exhibition will be there until the end of 2023. By the way, I was particularly impressed by the fact that by combining the works of the painters, the light installation, and its spatial choreography, and also the music, a work of art was then ultimately created that was in turn completely new. I know that this form of immersive art is not without controversy, but I'm like a little child. I'm looking, I'm listening, and then I surrender. And then I don't have to constantly decide whether I think what is shown to me as good or bad. Don't get me wrong. Of course I have personal feelings, and every now and then one or the other opinion about something shows up. But the critic in me completely fades into the background, and that makes me open to the unknown, to the new, and that makes me more daring myself. Also in my artistic expression, I experienced moving art, which in turn moved me. Anyway, dear ones, this left me full of inspiration, and maybe you also feel a little touched. I'm glad that you've accompanied me up to here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you here again. Here on the small planet, which can also be your small planet, as always.